Do you get angry? How often? What do you do about it? How do people around you react to your anger? These questions do not have any conclusive answers. But through this video, which is around 10 minutes long, I aim to impart a perspective to anger management to you, which may be pretty helpful to you all. Gussa, thook. How do we take this common wisdom? I call it the lost wisdom because we do not buy it anymore. We think that it means forget your anger, but it means release your anger. However, most of us are out there to deal with anger without trying to understand what it means. So far as the meaning of anger or its definition, I have understood it significantly from the book I Am the Mind by Deep Trivedi. Deep Trivedi is a renowned author who's written dozens of books and has introduced the principles of spiritual psychodynamics, wherein he explains common problems of our lives with the time-tested principles of psychology. Now, in this book, while defining emotions, he doesn't talk about anger per se, but he talks about mind and how it's the foundation of all emotions, all human emotions. Anger is one of those emotions. He says that mind and brain are different, and one of the common misconceptions are that we treat these two entities, we think of them as one, which is not so. Mind is where all our emotions and impulses originate, and the basic nature of mind is that it wants a release and expression of emotions, whereas brain is useful for functions such as analysis, calculations, and critical thinking, and so on. But brain wants restraint on emotions. So that's how he distinguishes the function of mind and brain. So when we talk of anger, the problem arises when mind wants to release it and brain wants to restrain it. Now, why does brain want to restrain emotions or anger? Because it fears. It fears to be perceived negatively. Anger is largely perceived as an evil. So brain fears being perceived as negative or as an evil. So in a way, brain encourages suppression of emotions, suppression of anger. It fears that the person with whom you are angry, or you're expressing your anger in front of a particular person, the person may be upset. He may get upset, or he may later on harm you if you express your anger. So these are the fears why brain wants to restrict anger or any other emotion. But if you suppress your anger, does it help? Is there anything called suppression? Does suppression work? It does not. Mind, once the anger originates in mind, it wants release, it wants expression. Suppression does not work. There is no way of suppressing your emotions. One, it has taken shape. One, it has taken birth. But still, if you try to suppress it, and we suppress our emotions because we are pressurized by society and religion, by common perception. We want to be looked at as peaceful, well-mannered, and virtuous. And if we suppress our emotions and anger, we may also be looked at very favorably by religion, which may think that we are very close to God. So these are the tricks we fall prey to. If you suppress your anger, it will be released anyway, but it will change its form, it will get distorted, and it will change its appearance. It will come out in the form of frustration, sarcasm, backbiting, and criticism. Put 3-4 rats in a room and close the door. What will happen? How will the rats come out? They will only breed and increase in numbers. The only way the rats will come out is when you open the door. The same thing happens with anger. Once anger originates, it has to come out. If you suppress it, it will come out in a distorted, in an undesirable form. So these situations in our lives, like we witness rash and erratic driving, we love to watch people argue, even fight. We love to witness violent scuffles. People love violent wrestling matches. Kids and even adults love to watch violent content, action movies and violent video games. What are these? What our love and inclination to these content suggest? We like these violent content and these content, having violent elements in them, because that provides a platform for the release of our suppressed anger. But we have to look at anger from the perspective that anger is okay. Why do we get angry? We get angry because something that we want is not allowed to take place. Is it wrong to want something? It is wrong to express a certain emotion or desire. Deep Trivedi says that anger is human. It's a form of an energy. And it's very natural. It's okay. You do not demonize it. Do not say that it's bad. Do not use terms like short-tempered and angry, as a derogatory term. Now, what Deep Trivedi really criticizes is the role of society and religion in dealing with anger. So he says that these institutions, society and religion, they want control, they want authority, they want order. And in the name of, and that is why they demonize anger. They term anger as an evil. It serves the purpose of society and religion well, but as an individual, we suffer. We suffer as families and individual. Because when we suffer frustration or depression, society and religion doesn't come for our rescue. Another important aspect is that to understand that once anger has taken origin in our mind, it will be expressed under the societal perception, or because of the very nature of mind and its need to express emotion, it will cause damage. So the damage is definitive, it's sure. We have to choose what kind of damage do we want. Are we ready to bear the damage of expressing it, or the damage of suppressing it? Whether we suppress it or express it, it is going to damage us. Which way we are going to choose? The writer suggests that you have to select the least loss bearing deal. So you have to evaluate whether you can release it and will that be treated as harmless, or you want to suppress it and bear the consequences of suppressing your anger. Now, what do we do with it? What do we do with anger? Let's now think of creating an environment, at least at the personal level, at the level of family, of accepting anger, of allowing its release, of creating an environment around us where anger is accepted as natural, as human, and let's not let's unlearn the attitude of judging people for when they get angry, because let's be more accommodating of people when they express their disappointments and anger. So the need is to be more sympathetic and more empathetic, and if not at a professional level or at a social level, we can practice this at the level of family, and we can see its positive results. If somebody gets angry in our family, let's let them express their anger. Let's try to understand why they're getting angry, and let's treat their anger as human, as a form of energy, as a natural thing. To conclude, I would re-emphasize, I would stress that we must now we must try to think of anger as human, as positive, as a form of energy, and we must not always demonize anger. We should look at it as an expression of human emotion. So that is all. Thank you so much for your time and patient listening. Thank you.